Welcome to the FemtoPC YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be installing Nextcloud, a free open source file sync and sharing platform that lets you host your own private cloud. It offers features like file storage, collaboration, calendars, and video calls all under your control. It's ideal for individuals or organizations seeking privacy-focused alternatives to commercial cloud services. Well, we're looking here at the login screen from my FreeBSD 14.3 fresh install. And we're going to download our script to install Nextcloud. Now this script is basically, based on my FAMP, which is FreeBSD, Apache, MySQL, and PHP script, with the added installation of the Nextcloud application. Now Nextcloud is that web-based personal cloud, enterprise cloud. It's becoming more and more popular. I believe it now supports having video conferencing. You know, it's all this competition for Zoom and those kind of, video conferencing or personal video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to log in on our server. And we need to check a couple of things here. Well, I already know that we're definitely in the root folder. It's clean because we got a fresh install here. And I'm going to grab my script file, which is on my FemtoPC website. So I'm going to use the fetch. If you're familiar with Linux, then you probably use a wget. But in FreeBSD, the system comes with fetch. So we're going to HTTPS, couple forward slashes, www.femtopc.com. / and we're going to get Nextcloud GZ, which is a compressed file. Okay, it's downloaded. We'll double check, make sure. And there it is, Nextcloud GZ. Now we need to tar. We're going to extract the file XF Nextcloud GZ. And we'll check again and we'll see, there we go. We got our Nextcloud shell. Now let's execute. And you can see it's executable. With backward slash, is it backward or forward? Regular slash. And here's our Nextcloud shell installation script. We're on a clean system. I'm logged in as root right on the system, so that's no problem. And I've got networking. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to download the script. And the time zone's been set. This server does not have a real fully qualified domain name, so we're going to use IP address whenever queued for that. And we're basically ready to go. I'm going to use root as my MySQL password, and I'll use admin for my Nextcloud user and login password. Okay, we're going to start a system check. Basically, this is going to check which version of FreeBSD we have, and the script is written for 13.5, 14.2, and 14.3. So if any of those are not found, it'll just say, well, we found FreeBSD, but not guaranteed. But here we found 14.3, so we're ready to continue. Now this quick screen is showing me my host name, which is FBSD 14.3 local. I've got an i7 with 16 gigabytes of real memory, and there's a bunch of looks like a duplicate. Small little bug there. And my DNS, I'm using 888 and 111. And my interface that faces the internet is 192.168.1.254. So we're ready to continue here. Answer yes. Okay, we've checked, and there's basically, this is a clean system. We didn't find a package system, and now we're going to grab information that the script is going to need to continue installing. So the first thing, Apache during the configuration needs to set the server name. And since I do not have a true fully qualified domain name, I'm going to use IP address. So I'm selecting I here and enter. And I'm going to use the long-term support MySQL version. So I'll enter 8.0, enter, confirm. I'm going to use root as my root password for the MySQL server. And I'm going to use PHP 83, which is now the oldest version. And now our script is running. It says go get a coffee and relax. Well, I've already had 2 cups, so I don't think I'm going to do that. And right now we're installing the FreeBSD package system. And now, after the package system's been installed, we're actually installing Apache. Apache's the most popular web server on the internet. And this is version 2.4. I'm installing some archivers like bzip and those kind of that are not part of FreeBSD's. So the server is installed, and then I've modified the HTTPD config file, and we're installing PHP now and the PHP extensions. There are a number of extra extensions which are not installed with just the normal. So I'm adding those in to support different content management platforms. Now some of these will take a while, so I'm just going to, probably during the video editing, I'm just going to fly by this. So hang on. Okay, we're checking, and you can see here that we've installed PHP 83 and extensions. ModPSB for Apache has also been installed. Now we're installing the MySQL 8.0 server. And the first time the server runs, it needs to create the MySQL database. It's creating the whole structure on the server. And then it's going to switch and change the password to root, which we set up in our initial query. By by default, the MySQL 80 server, when you install it, has no password for root. And in a real environment, of course, you're not going to use root. You're going to use a real password. And normally, it's only available from localhost. Okay, so now we're downloading the latest Nextcloud installation package. Now we can see here that it's up to 216 megabytes. And so we'll probably just be quiet for a second here. So I'm going to edit this out so you don't have to wait for my download. Okay, we're back. And after this is downloaded, we're going to unpack it into the root folder, and then we're going to be copying it into the web root and providing configuration to the Nextcloud config file. You can see here we're doing the extraction. Running the script. It's creating the database for Nextcloud. It says here starting the offline configuration. Okay, the script is doing a bunch of stuff in the background. And just about done. Okay, we've got a cron that's set up for the Nextcloud. We already set up the config file. It's running some background jobs for the first time. We've got our Apache server restarted. We'll probably restart Apache one more time, just as the script has completely finished. Okay, our script has completed. We're going to continue by answering yes. And of course, we can see here that Apache server has been restarted. Okay, if there was any problem in the script and you wanted to do some troubleshooting, okay, well, this is the complete message here. You can connect to the server. We're going to do that in a bit. Username and password are both admin. We're looking at our root folder, and there's a file here called logfile.log. This will contain a record of all the actions which were done during the installation. So you can go back and trace and see if there's any error message as far as, how packages were installed or any of the configuration that was done. So at this point, we're going to switch to our browser and we're going to log in to the Nextcloud. Okay, we've connected to our Nextcloud server at 192.168.1.252, and we're presented with the Nextcloud login window. And the username is admin, and the password is also admin. And there we are. We've got our Nextcloud server set up and running. And we can see our files. Welcome to Nextcloud. And then, of course, if you want to add users, you just go here to the accounts, or you go to administrative settings to configure the email server. You can change the appearance. And there's personal settings for each user that logs in. There are also applications here which you can run on mobile devices. What I used to do was I would have pictures taken on my mobile phone automatically uploaded to my Nextcloud. So I always had a backup. But anyway, there it is. It's a Nextcloud I'm installing on the FreeBSD, and it's a great application. I've been using this for a long time. Originally, it was called OwnCloud, OWN, and the OwnCloud kind of fell into a small little ditch. It didn't have any development. And a group of the OwnCloud people broke off and created a Nextcloud. And basically the Nextcloud allowed you to import all of your data in a database and stuff into, Nextcloud from OwnCloud. And Nextcloud has really excelled. They're adding all these new features. It's really great if you have that kind of infrastructure. Like I do. I have my own home server. It's a NAS, and it's connected on the internet 24/7, and it answers to a domain name even though I'm on a dynamic IP. And I can grab cloud wherever I want, and I use it a lot for sharing music files. When I say music files, I'm talking about stems that we're using for creating different songs. I play bass and program drums, and I have a friend that records guitar, and we've got singers in Taiwan and in the USA, several singers. So we all exchange our files, and they're all being exchanged through this Nextcloud service. And it's full control. So I think I've shown you that by using the script, you can easily install it. You don't have to do a lot of research to begin with as far as how to install. Especially, I'm using FreeBSD. It's not really one of the most popular operating systems, not like Linux or, something like that. They have already have scripts for Debian and that, different Linuxes. And I even saw they have support for OpenBSD, but I've always been on FreeBSD. I found that was FreeBSD is my OS. It's kind of an extension from the Unix, which I learned. So FreeBSD is the closest to that. As far as the other BSDs, of course, there's NetBSD, which supports most architectures, and an OpenBSD, which is the most secure. And in between, you've got FreeBSD, which has the most applications available. So I'm running all of my servers using FreeBSD. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check back. I think I'm going to do another one for OS Ticket, which is an open source ticket system. So stand by for that.